What is up, everybody? And we are here for our Week 16 Premier Madden League Fantasy Football Report. Almost done here. Week 17 will come up next week, and it will be a little different. Have a few new things, because we really didn't do a pick'em for that week. So there'll be a few things, a few new graphics, a few new things to really discuss. But let's dive right into the week 16 report. The last week we did play the fantasy pick'em, and here are our results. Fallen with another win, 133 points. So not a huge amount of points. A lot of people resting guys and sitting guys. A lot of guys that are already in the playoffs, deciding that we really don't need to risk an injury here. So we really didn't get many points this week. So 133 from Fallen, then 107 for me as Nefarious, and then 101 for the Cult User in Burn. So let's take a look at the Pick'em winner team. So it's pretty much the same lineup as last week. The one change is Fallen picked Dawson Knox as tight end. So let's take a look at the full team. So we got Derek Carr out of Oakland with 20.08 points. Then he's got Naheem Hines out of Indianapolis with 21.8 points. And then Tariq Cohen with 20.1 points. Antonio Brown was his wide receiver 1 with 10.9 points out of Oakland. And then Jakeem Grant out of Miami with 17.9 points was his wide receiver 2. Tight end was Dawson Knox, like I said, and he had 8.3 points. So Dawson Knox was week to week, on the list for the past 3 weeks, and Fallen picks him, and now he's no longer on the team of the week list. I don't think 8.3 points is going to cut it in this league. So all that, I would blame Fallen for that. So he kind of jinxed Dawson Knox this week, so he's gonna get a team of the week. But his flex option was Odell Beckham Jr. out of Cleveland with 15.8 points. His kicker was Eddie Pinheiro with 9 points, and then his defense was the Chicago Bears with 10 points. So let's take a look at the team of the week, and we got Baker Mayfield, who's going to make it on this list for the third time this season. He had 240 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing yard for 29.7 points. Then we had TJ Yeldon out of Buffalo, first time on the list. Huge game by him. He had 224 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a total of 40.4 points. So nice to see a new face on the list. Congrats to TJ Yeldon on making the list for the first time. We take a look at the wide receiver of the week, and we got Darius Slayton, another first comer out of New York. Playing for the Giants and Naturals team over there. He had 12 receptions, 140 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, and 31 rushing yards. So we definitely used him to his full potential, and his low 4.4, high 4.3 speed. He's got wheels over there. So good week by Darius Slayton. Let's take a look at the tight end of the week, and we got another New York Giants player, and Evan Engram. He's been on this list multiple weeks. Don't exactly remember how many weeks. Maybe that's something we'll talk about next week. But he had 4 receptions for 4 points, 182 yards for 18 points, and then 2 receiving touchdowns for 12 points, which gave him 41.1 points for the tight end of the week. Let's take a look at the defense of the week, and we got the Oakland Raiders defense. Definitely a newcomer, and definitely somebody that is surprising to see on this list. More of an offensive team. He allowed 24 points, which gave him 0 points. He had 2 sacks, which gave him 2 points. He had 6 turnovers, which gave him 12 points, and then 4 defensive touchdowns, which gave him 24 points. So he had 6 turnovers. He had 4 defensive touchdowns. So that's a high percentage of touchdowns and turnovers. Like, that is kind of ridiculous. But 38 total points for him this week, so a huge week by him, huge week by Oakland's defense, and that is actually going to do it for our last Premier Madden League Fantasy Football Report, where we discuss pick'ems and Team of the Week. The next week's episode will probably be a little different, add a few new things, trying to think right now off the top of the dome exactly what I'm gonna do. I know one specific thing, but maybe I could add some extra stuff to it. But that's gonna do it for this episode. Hopefully, I get the last episode in the season finale for season 1 out to you next week, and well, not next week, but in the next few days, and we could, pretty much wrap up the Premier Madden League Fantasy Report until next year. But that's gonna do it. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'm going to bed.